1989, something crashed in the Kalahari Desert, and it wasn't human. Military radar picked up an unidentified flying object entering South African airspace. Fighter jets were scrambled. What they found? A glowing silver disc buried in the sand. Rumors say 2 alien beings were recovered, alive. The incident was buried until a leaked document exposed everything. But what did the document say? Part 2.
I can hear them. They're under us. They're pulling people down.
In South Africa, there's a village that doesn't exist, or at least no one can find it anymore. The village of Bovenkirk was a small, thriving community until one day it disappeared off the map. In 1957, the last known residents vanished without a trace. No bodies, no evidence, just empty homes. No one has ever been able to find Bovenkirk again. GPS fails, maps are blank. Locals say it was swallowed by the earth itself.
But there are whispers. Some who claim they've seen the village appear just before nightfall.
Did this South African TikToker manage to capture actual giants on film? Could this be proof that the Nephilim are real? Could this be Andrew Dawson's Giant, the South Africa edition? Well, the answer to that question is yes. Because much like Andrew Dawson, who filmed an out-of-focus stationary object and claimed it was moving and a giant, this creator appears to have done the same with what looks like Robben Island, an island off the coast of Cape Town in South Africa. It would seem this creator is filming from the lovely Sea Point Promenade, where Robben Island can be seen in the distance. And Robben Island is home to a few tall stationary objects like this lighthouse, that when filmed from a distance while wildly out of focus through the haze of heat and water evaporation, can appear somewhat humanoid-like to those with a massive confirmation bias through the power of suggestion. And even though thousands and thousands of people are eating it up like Reese's Puff cereal in orange juice, it's very tasty. It's not a giant. Sleep well, friends, and memento mori.
You may have heard people talk about the social phenomenon of Freemasonry, a secret society or organization which wields power more than realized and publicly disclosed. But do you understand what it is? I mean, is it a religious organization? Is it the manifestation of principalities and power in high places? And how operational are they in the social, political, and economic affairs in the world? How much power do they wield? Are they present in South Africa? And also, how far does their influence reach if they are there?
Hidden in a remote corner stands a quaint national monument, the Lodge de Goede Hoop. Inside, a temple reflecting the exact dimensions of the inner sanctum of King Solomon's temple. But what's the link to Parliament?
Representative government in South Africa was actually initiated, amongst others, by a lot of prominent Freemasons.
Well, we are going to be discussing just that. We are going to look at what exactly Freemasonry is, the secret rituals of Freemasonry, the secret gestures and handshakes of the craft. In this video, we will be answering the question, who is Hiram Abith? Is Masonry a part of Christianity or paganry? And many other aspects of this old age practice. Now, most importantly, we will look at the Masonic presence in South African government and political atmosphere, and we will try to figure out the South African roots and history with Freemasonry. Stay tuned, we are taking a deep dive. In simple terms, Freemasonry is the world's oldest and largest secular fraternal organization. A fraternity or fraternal organization is a group of people, typically men, formally organized around common interests, goals, or professions, often including secret rituals and social activities. Freemasonry is the teachings and practices of the Fraternal Men-Only Order of Free and Accepted Masons, the largest worldwide secret society, an oath-bound society often devoted to fellowship, moral discipline, and mutual assistance that conceals at least most of its rituals, customs, or activities from the public. Freemasonry evolved from medieval guilds of stonemasons, operative masons, into speculative philosophical fraternity in the 17th and 18th century. Originating in Europe, the first Grand Lodge was founded in London in 1717, establishing modern Freemasonry. Masonry is not a religious organization in a strict code sense. However, it is an organization heavily influenced by a religious spirit. The term religious here does not refer to any denomination, sect, or creed. Masonry has no religious dogma other than that it requires a belief in deity. This simply means any man, whether he be Christian, Jew, Muslim, Buddhist, Brahman, or deist, he may be admitted to Masonry because all these religions require a belief in deity, a godhead. A Mason offering prayer in the lodge may pray to his God, observing whatever he understands God to be. It is therefore proper and in accordance with Masonic law and tenets for a Mason who believes in the Christ or Jesus to offer prayer in the lodge in his name, or for a Muslim Mason to offer up their prayers invoking Allah, or even a Hindu to Krishna. Under this fraternal organization, none is told whom to pray to. Everyone addresses his prayer to his own conception of deity. The belief in a God is the number one requisite to becoming a Mason. He who has not made a declaration of his belief in deity cannot become a Mason. Modern Freemasonry broadly consists of three main traditions. Anglo-American style Freemasonry, which insists that a volume of sacred law such as the Bible, Quran, or other religious texts should be open in a working lodge. The second one is continental style Freemasonry or liberal style Freemasonry, which has continued to evolve beyond these restrictions, particularly regarding religious belief and political discussion. The third one is women's Freemasonry or co-Freemasonry, which includes organizations that either admit women exclusively, such as Order of Women Freemasonry and the Honorable Fraternity of Ancient Masons in the UK, or orders that accept both men and women. An example of this would be the French order, Le Droit Humain, which translates the human right. Let us now look at what transpires within a Masonic lodge room as a new member called a candidate undergoes 3 degrees of Blue Lodge Masonry. A Blue Lodge or Symbolic Lodge is a foundational body of Freemasonry where members receive the first 3 degrees. The degrees are named as follows. The first degree is called Entered Apprentice. The second degree is Fellow Craft. The third is Master Mason. The Entered Apprentice and Fellow Craft degrees mechanically are pretty much in lockstep with each other. The lessons and teachings covered in each of these degrees are different, but mechanisms are basically the same. In each of these degrees, the candidate dons the required clothing, which includes a blindfold. He enters the lodge room and...
Alright you guys, there is a major disaster coming to South Africa. I know this for a fact. Let me show you how I know. First of all, I want to say I wish the pieces of literal crap in charge would select places like America or Canada, not places where all of their children are struggling without food and water. So y'all remember this in Turkey, right? And then shortly after that, there was this massive earthquake, and it was not a coincidence. So when the Turkey thing happened, I showed you why there was that red portal in the sky, and it was because Atlas Project, it was CERN was experimenting again, opening portals and unleashing just chaos into the area. Now look at this very similar red cloud over Cape Town. Now you ready? Again, 10-year South African collaboration. But where is it? University of Cape Town. Again, CERN strikes again. And don't forget, this is happening in Africa right now too. Just splitting apart. All these portals brought on by CERN literally unleash hell wherever they are. We need to warn the South African people. This is coming. They have it bad enough as it is.
In August 1996, residents across Pretoria began calling the police about a strange object in the night sky. This wasn't a rumor. This wasn't a single witness. Enough calls came in that the police responded, and that's where this story stops being speculation. South African Police Service ground units were dispatched. A police helicopter was launched. Multiple officers visually tracked a fast-moving aerial object over the city. This is not disputed. SAPS later acknowledged that a pursuit took place. Officers described a bright metallic object, no visible wings, no rotor noise, no exhaust trail. The object changed direction sharply. Movements trained pilots described as unnatural. The police helicopter attempted to follow. It couldn't. A police officer on the ground filmed the object. The footage exists. It shows a luminous object moving erratically before accelerating out of frame. The video was later analyzed by civilian researchers. No hoax mechanisms were identified. No official explanation was offered. The footage was never formally debunked. After the incident, SAPS confirmed the pursuit, then stopped commenting. No press briefing, no released radar data, no internal report made public. In a post-apartheid South Africa pushing transparency, this silence stands out. Now, theories emerged, and they are only theories. Some suggest a classified military or foreign surveillance craft, experimental aerospace technology being tested without public knowledge. Others believe the object's acceleration and maneuvers match no known aircraft at the time. The behavior suggests an intelligently controlled craft. There is no proof of extraterrestrial origin, but there is also no confirmed terrestrial explanation.
October 5th, 2025, Johannesburg, South Africa. Something appeared in the sky, and no one can explain what happened next. Just outside the city, near Midrand, hundreds of people saw it. A massive, glowing craft, orange light spinning slowly above an open field. No sound, no engines. Then all at once, every light in the area went out. 30 seconds later, it was gone. No trace on radar, no signal, just darkness. By morning, police and locals found it. A perfect scorched circle, 50 meters wide. The soil had turned to glass. Trees were stripped bare. Even the air smelled like metal and rain. Someone caught a few seconds of footage before the blackout. 3 orange lights in a triangle, rotating silently, then shooting straight up into the clouds at impossible speed. By sunrise, government vehicles blocked off the site. No drones, no reporters. But satellite data showed something else. A burst of heat energy, as strong as a rocket launch. Yet no rocket was launched anywhere in South Africa. They've covered the field now. But locals say, when the lights flicker at night, you can still hear it. That low hum, waiting to come back.